I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. All right. So, yesterday we talked about figuring out how long your child can be on before they pass the point of no return and you can't get them back. So, now that you know what that number is, you want to sit down with your child and have a discussion about the screen. So, we call this making a mutual agreement. And a mutual agreement means that you both agree. So, while you can have what I call parental dictates, which is where you just say, "Okay, this is how it is." Of course, you can have those with screen time. That's perfectly acceptable. It's that you tend to get more buy-in and cooperation when you make the agreements together with the kids. And I do suggest doing that for most things, but again, there's certain things that, of course, you're the parent and you're gonna have certain strict rules and limits, about things that are really important to you, and screen time might be one of them. And if that's how you wanna do it, that's fine. But if you wanna be have a better chance of getting cooperation and being able to maintain a working and moving relationship over time, because as your kid grows, this agreement will have to move and change, as the child gets older and needs to use the screen for more things and is more responsible and capable of using the screen for more things. That all comes into play. So you want to sit down and have this conversation and say, my job as the parent is to make sure that you're a happy, healthy kid, and so, I've gotta you've gotta have limits on the screen, and I've gotta enforce those with you. So let's talk about what's, an appropriate amount of time, and have a discussion and listen to your child. Listen to the things that they wanna do, acknowledge them, like, "I see that you wanna play those learning games, and I love that you wanna do that, and I acknowledge you wanna be doing XYZ with your friends, and I know it's super important to be with your friends. I like it in person, but if it's on some kind of a, app or chat or whatever, that's, I respect that." And so have a discussion, and I want you to try to guide your child to the limits that you're hoping to set. So let's say you wanna give your child an hour a day of screen time and you want it in 3 20-minute chunks. And I'm not suggesting that that's the right way to do it. I'm just giving this as an example. And so you wanna kinda guide them to that when you're having your discussion. And and I would even make the observation, like, I noticed that when you're on the thing for 20 minutes and then I ask you to get off, you seem fine. But if you're on it for 40 minutes and I ask you to get off, we get in a big fight. And that just doesn't work for me. And I'm not willing for you to have screen time where we're fighting every day. That makes me want to just take the whole thing away. And I'm absolutely willing to do that if that's what it's going to take. But at the same time, I want you to have screen time. So what do you think about setting it up that you can have up to an hour a day, and it'll be in 3 20-minute chunks at different times, and then you'll have a break in between? And find out what they think about that and how they feel about that. And then you wanna set up an agreement, and I strongly suggest this being a written agreement if your child's old enough to do that. So a written agreement is like a contract, and I used to have these on my fridge all the time with when my kids were growing up about all kinds of things, but oh, the main one was about at the time, it was less screen time, it was, video games, and so the kids had their video games that they played, and we always had a chart up on the refrigerator, and we sat down and we hacked out who could be on when and how long, and so it was set up so that at any time I would know or they would know who's supposed to be on, and if somebody was on and it wasn't in the right time, people would know. And it wasn't me being the bad guy, it's the agreement on the refrigerator being the bad guy. It's like, "Hey, looks like it's, 4 o'clock, and up on the agreement there, it doesn't show anybody's on screen at 4 o'clock. Looks like somebody's, breaking the rules here." And, you could have conversations. We can talk about creating logical consequences around these things tomorrow, but for today, what I want you to do is have a conversation with your child, again, age appropriately. Younger kids, you're gonna just have to set these limits um, and enforce them, but once they get a little older and you can have a two-way conversation, that's what you wanna do. Make a contract, both of you sign it, get it up on their fridge, and then see how it goes. When you've involved your child in the process, tends to work much better. Alright, let me know how it goes. Have a great day. Happy parenting.
Look, Bumble knows you're exhausted by dating. All the must not take yourself too seriously and 6'1" since that matters. And what do I even say other than hey? Well, that's why they're introducing an all new Bumble with exciting features to make compatibility easier, starting the chat better, and dating safer. They've changed, so you don't have to. Download the new Bumble now.
Thank you so much for joining me here at the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. I assume you're here because you're getting something out of these daily pep talks. And wouldn't it be great if more parents could hear more about these ideas for their children? And you can help me in a great way by liking the episodes, by sharing them on your social media, and especially by providing a review on your platform of choice. So if you could do me a huge favor and do that, it would really help get this out to many, many, many more parents. And we can all help our children feel more seen, heard, and understood, which is my life's work, is to make sure that all children feel loved and appreciated and that we can discipline them without breaking their spirit. So I hope that you've enjoyed these podcasts and will continue to enjoy them. And I really appreciate any support you can give me here at Positive Parenting Pep Talks. Thank you so much. Have a great day and happy parenting.